Hello there, my name is Caitlin Maharg, and I had this idea to sort of do this analysis of the new song from Olivia Rodrigo called Good For You. I heard it a couple nights ago at like 1 in the morning, and it just like inspired me to do this little analysis. And so let me tell you about my perspective. I've been with narcissists before, people with narcissistic personality disorder, and one of the narcissists I was with, he also had antisocial personality disorder. So he was called a malignant narcissist. That's a mix between a narcissist and a sociopath or psychopath. And I was also with someone who's known as a covert narcissist, an unaware narcissist. He didn't know what he was, but it was just a part of him being a narcissist. And the malignant narcissist, he knew what he was, and he was damn proud of it. So what made me want to do this song is a new song. I'm sure it's gonna be a hit. It's probably already a big hit. But what got me was the line. Let me see, where is it? I think it's where is it? Like a damn sociopath. Yep. Yeah, when I heard that line, I was like, it triggered me because I've been obsessed lately with learning about narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, even just cluster B personality disorders and mental health overall, because after going through what I went through with these people with these personality disorders, dating these guys, and just not knowing what I was dealing with for 8 years, and then finally figuring out like the one guy especially, he plagued me. Like, I wanted to know what was going on, and when I realized he was a malignant narcissist, it completely changed everything for me, and finally a weight was lifted off my shoulders because I realized it was never my fault. And the whole time you're getting blamed. I was getting blamed for everything. I was made to feel like I was the problem. And yeah, I never was. And even when I was with, like, he had me in the palm of his hand for the longest time, the malignant narcissist. And so towards the end of me knowing the malignant narcissist, I was looking for answers. I was sick of the bullshit and dealing with this crap, and I had been on my own for a little bit without him, but he was still, he was still there, and he would hoover me back in and all that. Hoovering is when they suck you back in, so they can use you and abuse you a little more. But I was getting sick of it. I had been on my own for a couple years, actually. Like, though he was still a part of me, like, and it plagued me, I was ready for an answer. I was ready to know what had happened and what was going on, because I tried to make sense of something that didn't make sense, until I found out that this man had a personality disorder, or 2 personality disorders. And even towards the end of getting to know him, I'm like, I'm trying to figure you out. And he would and I would come to him and talk to him. Do you think you have this? Do you think you have this? And I did not know that he had a personality disorder. That didn't occur to me completely. He had me fooled. But he would sometimes ask me, or say to me, he would be like, I wonder how our story is going to end, and sort of this future faking thing and making it seem romantic. Oh, wonder where life will lead us both, and how our story will end. And I used to get really into it and be like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, I hope we work together and travel and all these exciting things that came like from a place of just like, really caring about this person and like wanting it to be true, wanting a life with him. But towards the end of it, I was sick of it. I was like, when he would bring up stuff like where do you think our story will lead? And I'd just be like, I don't know. I really don't know, but I know the plot twist in the story is that you're the crazy one. And I was right. I mean, it took me 8 years to be right about this, but I still figured it out. I knew he was crazy. And, you know, for the longest time, I thought I was crazy. I thought I had borderline personality disorder. Turns out I didn't. I had narcissistic abuse syndrome, and I had, I believe, what's known as, I think I had a complex PTSD, which is different than regular PTSD, which is more like from usually a single traumatic event. Complex PTSD is, it's when there's a consistent stream of traumatic events, and emotional abuse and narcissistic abuse is like that. It's just like little, it's consistent abuse over a long period of time, months and years. And yeah, you develop it as a response. And yeah, so yep, he was the crazy one. It wasn't me. Yippee! So let's get to this song. And I'm gonna just tell you my perspective of the song, what I hear when I listen to a song like this. From the perspective of someone who's been with a narcissist or a sociopath. So, the song's fun. It's like a 90s angsty, fun teen song. I really like it. So this starts off, well, good for you. I guess you moved on really easily. You found a new girl and it only took a couple weeks. Remember when you said that you wanted to give me the world? Yeah, so, yeah, narcissists move on very easily. Once they discard you, it's like, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And even, you know, even when they're devaluing you and like leading to this discard phase, yeah, they're just like slowly weaning you out. And then they do. And then they have to find another source of fuel. So a narcissist, they're constantly, they need fuel, they need admiration, attention from people to survive, essentially, because they're, I mean, from what I hear, they're empty vessels. They're kind of hollow inside, and they get their identity from people. So they're constantly looking for sources of fuel and supply, can even be negative fuel. They just need this. And because if they don't get the fuel they need, they're gonna, this hollow, their hollow inner self is gonna be exposed. And their ego will not allow that. So they do whatever they can to make sure that they don't face the reality of the darkness in them and their ugliness and what they do to people, what they can do to people. Yeah, so their ego is just constantly, it's pathological. It's constantly protecting them from actually seeing themselves for who they truly are. So they live in they wear a mask, and I think that they even believe in the mask that they're wearing because they think they're entitled. So yeah, like the guy that I was with, the malignant narcissist, I mean, he moved on. He got a girlfriend like 2 months after, from what he told me, 2 months after him and I had broken up. But even before that, that woman he was prepping her to be his next girlfriend and next source of fuel. Even while him and I were dating, he was hanging out with her. Though he didn't tell me then, I know for a fact he was hanging out with her. And yeah, he was weaning me out and putting me through hell while he was hanging out with her. And you know, he was having a great time with her, and I was at home miserable, like being ignored, given the silent treatment, while he's off like having the best time of his life. So yeah, they move on easily. And you're gonna feel like, yeah, you're gonna be like, wow, how did they do that? Like, it makes you feel like you were just nothing. Oh, whatever, on to the next one. So, and yeah, remember when you said you wanted to give me the world? Yeah, they're great with words. They like, you're gonna feel like you are everything to them when you're with them. But then once you're not everything to them, then you're nothing to them. And then they find someone else who's everything to them. They idealize people when they meet them initially in the beginning stages, and then they get bored. Eventually they get bored, and then they devalue you and discard you. And also, if it makes you feel better, the new girl that he's with, that 2 weeks after you, she's gonna go through the same shit that you went through. Eventually, it might take a little bit, but it'll happen. Guaranteed. People don't change that much and that quickly. So the next lines are good for you. I guess that you've been working on yourself. I guess that therapist I found you, she really helped. Now you can be a better man for your brand new girl. I mean, you know, who knows? Did he go to a therapist? I don't know. But I think this is a sarcastic line because there's no way he changed. There's no way he's gonna be a better man for his new girl. It might look that way, but trust me, it's not happening. Again, he's with a new person 2 weeks after. That's not enough time to make a substantial change. And yeah, I mean, it's very hard for a narcissist to change in general. You know, everybody says if you encounter a narcissist, sociopath, run and never look back. And that's true. Like, why do you want a negative energy in your life? Like, this is your life. You get one life. Why not surround yourself with people who are positive and make you feel good and bring you up, instead of being with someone that you fell in love with the mask he wore. It wasn't really who he was. And despite the good times, you kind of just have to understand that they're in the past. They're a memory, and you still got a lot of life to live. So why not find people that actually make you feel good? Because you're going to be drained if you are with a narcissist or sociopath for a long period of time. It's going to affect you. But and yeah, I want to believe that these people, maybe they can change. I'm not sure that I want to be, I don't want to be around these people to see them change. They do the change on their own. Like, gain some self-awareness and own up to who you are and try to make a change for yourself. And yeah, I mean, I would want to believe that these people could change, because I don't think constantly saying these people can't change and they're evil and this and that, like, that's not going to really help them in the end. Like, that's not going to promote change at all. So yeah, I want to believe that if they put in hard work, they could at least make baby steps of change. But even that, I don't think that's going to be sufficient enough for someone in a relationship with them to stay, because you're still going to be affected. They're not going to change completely. It'll be probably little baby steps. But again, it's probably not worth it to you. Again, you deserve something better. And why not find someone who can really love you the way that you've always dreamed of someone loving you? So yeah, so that line was just like sarcastic. I feel like, oh yeah, you find a therapist, I'm sure she really helped. You'll be good for your brand new girl, I'm sure. Yeah, he won't. He's not gonna be good for her. And then the chorus, well, good for you, you look happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you, you're doing great out there without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're gonna look happy and healthy. They moved on, and your heart's gonna be shattered. You're gonna be trying to put your heart back into place, and then you're just gonna, they're not even gonna like ask you how you are. they're not gonna care. They're gonna be focusing on this new girl. And you're just gonna be like, whatever. Your feelings do not matter. It's about them. So yeah, they're not gonna ask. They may ask when they try to hoover you back in, but even that's just a manipulation tactic. Yeah, they're gonna seem like they're doing great without you, and I guess to them they are, but yeah, I mean, they're not like, yeah, they're not good people inside, so you kind of just have to understand that, and yeah, know that it's not you, it's them and who they are. So yeah, God, I wish that I could do that. Yeah, I wish that I could have done that too, like moved on. Like there would be logic in my head when I was going through these dark times and I was discarded. Like I would think I shouldn't feel like this. A person shouldn't make me feel this way, and I thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. I was just responding to trauma. But yeah, I just couldn't stop, like, the constant rumination and thoughts and thinking about what happened and what went wrong. Rumination, I heard, is when you try to make sense of something that can't make sense, and then it's just like a never-ending cycle. So it makes it very hard to move on. And narcissists don't give you closure, so again, hard to move on after that. So I've lost my mind. I've spent the night crying on the floor of my bathroom. Yeah, I felt like I lost my mind. I really did. I was crying all the time. I couldn't even talk to people. I couldn't even make sense of what happened to me. And even when I would tell people about what happened to me, I never felt validated. Yeah, it was like I was battling this thing sort of by myself, and I would be crying to parents and friends, and they didn't even know how to help me. It really affected me. And I don't think I was crying on the bathroom floor, but I cried in the bathroom, I cried in the shower, cried in my bedroom, cried when I was home alone. Yeah, I cried. I tell people this, and I'm not even really exaggerating. I cried every day for about 2 years. And even after that, I still cried like every few days for like 6 months. And then after 2.5 years after the malignant narcissist discarded me is when I discovered what he was. And then there was peace, finally. Yeah, so yeah, definitely cried a lot, and panic attacks too. Had lots of panic attacks. But you're so unaffected. I really don't get it, but I guess good for you. Yeah, you're not gonna get it because they just don't function like a neurotypical person. And when you're a neurotypical person, or someone with a lot of empathy, it doesn't even really occur to you that someone can think and do the things that they do. Like, it's not in your realm of thinking until you know that people think like this, that there are people out there with no empathy, and that, like, I think 20 or 25%, or no, 5% of the population is like, has this like narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. So that's like 1 out of 20 people you pass by on the street have this. So they're everywhere. You are encountering narcissists and sociopaths everywhere. So, let's see. So yeah, you're so affected. I really don't get it, but I guess good for you. So verse 2, well, good for you. I guess you're getting everything you want. You bought a new car and your career is really taking off. It's like we never happened, baby. What the fuck is up with that? So, yeah, you're getting everything you want. You have a new car, your career's really taking off. The thing is, that's like sarcastic too. Like, please, I'm sure that's really happening. A narcissist, they're gonna leave you and they're gonna make you feel like their life is so much better without you, and which feeds into the idea that you were the problem. It's you, it's you, it's you. They'll never take accountability for anything. But even the covert narcissist I dated, the unaware narcissist, I'd broken up with him a few months after dating him. I'd had enough. And there was a period of a month or a little over a month where we didn't date. And he would call me and text me, and he would act like his life was perfect without me. Be like, I got a job. Oh, I'm moving. I'm getting my own place. Like, and he never worked when we were together, and he lived with his mom and slept on the couch, and like, but it was all a lie. Like, he was just saying that stuff, like acting like he changed, even though he didn't, you know. He was not a good person. Never had money. He was always asking me for money. He financially abused me and owes me a shit ton of money. And yeah, but if you ask him, he doesn't owe me shit if you ask him. But yep, that's the way they are. They can't ever deny that. They can never accept that they're the ones that are causing issues. So let's see. Yeah, baby, what the fuck? It's like we never happened. Yeah, it will be like you never happened at all. Out of sight, out of mind. If you're not with them, you're nothing. And everything's on their terms. They might come back, but it's on their terms. And good for you. It's like you never even met me. Remember when you swore to God I was the only person who ever got you? Well, screw that and screw you. You will never have to hurt the way you know that I do. Yeah, it's like you're going to be questioning even the good times. Like, did they happen? Did I live like through these good times? Like, it felt magical to me. But you're gone. Like, I guess it didn't really mean that much to you. But you don't get it. You're like, but it was real. Like, how can he not feel something? But yeah, that's just the way they are. Like, they get bored and they have trouble with object constancy, I think it's called. And yeah, I mean, they just feel entitled. They get bored with you, and then you mean nothing. It's yeah. And then they find some new shiny girl and shiny toy, and they just can't help themselves. And then you're gone. And yeah, like with the malignant narcissist especially, like, remember when you swore to God I was the only person who ever got you? Yeah, with the malignant narcissist, it's like him and I were on the same wavelength, and that's rare for me. Like, I'm a fairly introverted person, and sometimes it's hard for me to like find a person that I truly connect with. So when I found him and we met, it was instant. I felt a connection that I had never felt before. It was magical, and I didn't want it to go anywhere. I wanted to hold on to it because it felt so rare. And because I had that mindset of like, this is so rare, like this is like a once in a lifetime thing, like this is my soulmate. Because of that, having those ideas in my head when he would abuse me and I was going through hell, I made up excuses because I believed love could conquer it all, that we were meant to be together and that we would get through it. So I was not thinking clearly. Yeah, you will never hurt the way you know that I do. Yeah, I felt like I hurt constantly, and it was like he just walked away so easily. Yeah, and I never hurt him, ever. Like, I never did anything completely awful. If anything, I mean, the things I did that they were a response to the trauma and abuse I was going through. So, I mean, yeah, they could never say I didn't give it my all. Even though they would say that, but it's bullshit. So again, well, good for you, you look happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you, you're doing great out there without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that. I've lost my mind, I spent the night crying on the floor of my bathroom. Is that? But you're so unaffected, I really don't get it, but I guess good for you. Then we got a bridge. Maybe I'm too emotional, but your apathy is like a wound and salt. And then again, maybe I'm too emotional, or maybe you never cared at all. So yeah, like, I would constantly be thinking I'm too emotional, because narcissists use your emotions against you. You respond, as a neurotypical person and someone with empathy, you think that you have these emotional reactions to trauma, which are completely logical, but they use it against you. They make it seem like your reactions are inappropriate, that you're crazy, that you're out of control. And yeah, I mean, I even thought I had borderline personality disorder, which is known for like being emotional and having outbursts and just like not being able to control your emotions. And I felt that way. I felt like I couldn't control my emotions at all. So yeah, I got blamed for all the problems in the relationship because of it. But it turns out I most likely had complex PTSD as a result of consistent emotional abuse. So I did not have borderline personality disorder, but I really thought I did, and I studied up on it. I saw a therapist thinking I had it, but I only saw her for like maybe 4 sessions at the most, and I was just too fragile to continue because I just couldn't explain what I had been through, and I was still under the assumption that I was the problem. And when I would talk about this guy, like, I would talk about it, I would explain to her what had happened, but I would say it in a way that was like making it seem like it was my fault because I was still under his spell, even though he did some horrendous things to me. So yeah, but now I'm better. So it was a long process, but yeah, I truly get what they mean by loving yourself and self-love, and I get it now, and I will never put up with that bullshit ever again. I don't think it would even be possible, so that's good. Like, after all of this was said and done, like, to be able to, like, I always have this side of optimism in me, so I can, like, I can understand what I learned from the experience and grow. So I guess that's like a helpful way maybe to look at it when you go through this, and help you move on, and just understanding, trying to figure out what you learned and what you can do to make your life better from now on, and what you can do to like avoid these people. So that's what I want to do, is like educate people on this stuff, because I think just knowing about it helps. Because a lot of people, when they talk about narcissists or sociopaths, it's almost like it's almost like it's an insult rather than a personality disorder. And I don't think people get what it actually means to be in a relationship with these people unless you've actually gone through it. Because you hear about narcissists and sociopaths on TV shows, a lot of crime shows, but a lot of them aren't like committing these heinous, awful crimes. They're people that you see every day and you interact with every day, and they might not be committing crimes, but they are abusing people in their life subtly. So yeah, again, I thought I was an emotional wreck. I was, but it was due to something. And then your apathy is like a wound in salt. Yeah, they're not gonna care and it's gonna hurt you. You just are gonna feel like, wow, maybe I wasn't this amazing person. Maybe what happened, it didn't really exist. Like, maybe I am the reason for the breakup. Like, they're doing fine and here I am. I'm the one crumbling to the floor. So it's another like dagger in the heart that's like, oh God, that it doesn't help. So, and yeah, maybe you never cared at all. Like, that was something that was a little hard to come to terms with, like finding out that they may have never truly cared, may have never truly loved you. I mean, it certainly gives you closure. Like with the narcissist, you're not getting closure. So you kind of got to create your own closure when it comes to them. And, you know, finding out they never cared and they can never truly love you, like, okay, that's pretty clear cut. Like, it's over. This person is just a memory now, because you don't deserve that. You want to find people that can truly love you and give you what you deserve. So, but it definitely changes your world around, because you go through this whole experience viewing this person in a certain light, and then hearing that they never cared, never loved you. It's your whole world flips and your perspective of the whole situation completely changes. But again, it helped give me closure and finally it was over and I could breathe. So yeah, she says it again. Maybe I'm too emotional. Your apathy is like a wound in salt. Maybe I'm too emotional, or maybe you never cared at all. Again, chorus. Well, good for you. You look happy and healthy. Not me if you ever cared to ask. Good for you. You're doing great out there without me, baby. Like a damn sociopath. So when I heard that, I was like, oh God. I was happy that this song like had that in it, because it makes me hope that like maybe people will Google it and find out more information. I have not a clue. They might not, but I was like, I want to get the word out. I don't want people to go through the same shit I went through, because it was not fun. It really plagued my life for a long time, and I wasted years on it. I mean, I don't look at it that way as a waste, because I think it's that optimism in me. But yeah, it took a lot of my life. I could have had good memories with other people, but it happened, and now I'm here like telling people about it. So maybe that was the goal of it all. So yeah, I've lost my mind. I've spent the night crying on the bathroom floor, but you're so unaffected. I really don't get it, but I guess good for you. And then the outro, well, good for you. I guess you moved on really easily. So that is the song. I think it's a really fun song, and yeah, I mean, I know it's not like taken that seriously. It's sort of like this, it's an upbeat song, kind of fun and revengeful, but it is revengeful in a way. And I might be taking it too like seriously with how I view it, but I can't help it. Like, that's how I view the song, and whatever, screw these guys. They're out of my life, so it doesn't matter. But I do look at songs differently now. After the experience I've been through, I listen to songs, I'm just like, oh, I always thought that was just a heartbreak song, but now I know it's a song about heartbreak with a narcissist. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna post a bunch of other videos about my experience with this, and possibly even more like little analysis or whatever about songs, that my perspective on songs and how I view them. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Subscribe please, and I'll see ya.